Hey there, my name is Giacomo Smith. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Sitting In with Smitty's, where we invite a special guest to sit in with our KSTV house band. This week, our guest is drummer Jas Kayser. Thanks so much for coming to join us today, Jas.
No problem, thanks for having me.
So what's this first tune we're going to play?
Coup Variation, right?
Coup Variation from the debut EP of Jas Kayser. We hope you enjoy it. Yeah, Jas.
Nice, killing guys.
Sick. Coup variation. We hope you enjoyed that first tune. That was called Coup Variations, and it was composed by our guest, Jas Kayser. We're going to be playing some more music towards the end of the show, so stick around and remember to hit like and subscribe on our page. And Jas, thanks so much for sitting in with Smitty's.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So the new EP is out. It was out, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
24th, like 2 weeks ago.
And it's Unforced Rhythm and Grace, right?
Rhythm of Grace, yeah.
Excuse me,
Unforced
okay.
Rhythm of Grace.
So what is that? What's the significance of that?
So it started as a project, basically trying to, it was during my master's course with Danilo and the Global Jazz program, just thinking about, getting into the educational side of music, but also we had to think away from being jazz musicians and convincing people why music is important to people's lives, basically. So then we would all kind of say...
Get on board with that.
Yeah, exactly. But then the easy thing to say is like, oh, you know, it's amazing, makes you feel good, blah, blah, blah. But then you say, no, that's too superficial, that's too hippie musician kind of thing. To talk about, you have to get more in depth, in detail, you know, to people who need convincing, who don't connect with music in the way that you connect naturally, you know.
Wow.
So it was about kind of seeing, okay, maybe rhythm has a big part to do with people's like mental health or feeling, or why do people dance to music, some people don't. So I was trying to basically find a rhythm that connects to everybody. Anyway, I was like, maybe, you know, there's like top 40 or like a lot of like Quincy Jones productions that kind of like more people can like connect to than jazz,
right.
At least this time, you know what I mean? So then, but then people used to dance to jazz back in the day, or some people still do that. So it's just all these things coming in, and I was like, what is it about the rhythm, or what can I write that maybe is more accessible than swing or something like that?
Right.
So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, it's a great piece of work because it has so much. You know, when I listened to it, I heard so many different influences. You know, you have obviously the kind of jazz side of things, and then you have, because you have like, you know, trumpet player. Tell us about the trumpet player. She's from Spain, right?
Yeah, she's originally from Spain, I believe, and then half from somewhere in Latin America as well. I think, can't remember. But
okay, because you have that kind of, you know, the late Miles element in there, which is very jazz side of things. But then also you have the kind of Latin percussion going on as well.
Yeah.
So, where are those people from? Where did you?
The percussionist is from, I want to get this right, I want to say Colombia. I haven't seen him in ages. It feels so bad if I've gotten this wrong.
Right.
But he's called Juan, a really clean guy. And then Milena's from Spain, and the bass player is from somewhere in the States, and the piano player is from India. So it's like, really crazy
Great
collection.
fusion of rhythmic like minds, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
Well, we have more to play today from your EP. So we have what else are we gonna do?
So we're going to play Feel It, another original of mine, which is kind of more like a very Afrobeat groove, like traditional Afrobeat groove in a way. And then we're going to play a Ralph Peterson tune called Blues for Cooch.
Now, Ralph Peterson, I want to talk about that phase just briefly. So Ralph Peterson was a teacher of yours at Berkeley, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long did you spend at, because Berkeley's in Boston, so we just missed each other, right?
Literally,
yeah.
Yeah, true.
Maybe by a few years. So
when did you leave? I was there from 2014.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
When did I leave? I was already here. I think I
True.
left in 2009.
Oh,
So,
true. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Few years we would have.
Few years missed. But what was that like? What was it like studying there? I think it's such a cool, path that you took going there and kind of, catapulting yourself out of London and then coming back and kind of having this new perspective. Was it great over there? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely great. But I know what you mean. It's like you're experiencing a whole different culture. I think the biggest part of it is just the environment. You know, obviously you've got killing musicians in London, killing musicians in the States, but it's like there's just a different feel to it, I guess, related to more than just the music. You know?
So what's that like? I mean, what's, as somebody who's experienced, both scenes, how did you feel connected to kind of the American music side of things, just being there? Was it You know, yeah.
I think something I've been thinking about recently is kind of like, obviously I feel I have so much more to learn on the drums and music and jazz and in other rhythms, but it's more, when I was there I was quite young, I was like 18 till like 22 I was there, so it's like a really young time to be immersed into like such an intense culture, especially in jazz music, and I definitely had loads more to learn. I still have more to learn, but there was like that element of just the cultural thing of it's in people's blood, it's in people's lives, like the music is the life. And then, so I guess on the playing side, it just kind of like, it brought my playing to life. You know, it kind of just made more sense. Like, it helped me understand why I played jazz, or, you know what I mean? It's just experiencing people like Ralph, who grew up, I mean, I think he used to like live opposite place where Miles Davis used to go boxing, you know, like something like that. A few stories like that, and just them sharing those stories, it suddenly is so close to home. These books that you've been reading and these videos you've been seeing on YouTube and stuff, it's suddenly like you're in that life.
In front of you.
Yeah. So it's just kind of, it's like, it's the way you play with that energy. There's just like that swing is like, Ralph plays with the energy, and it just kind of like comes out. Not that I necessarily improved so much in technique, but I just felt like this force come out of me that's been there, but just the environment kind of like brought it out. You know, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So people you kind of, you studied with Ralph, you studied with Danilo Perez a bit,
Danilo Perez,
in Panama and at Berkeley as well,
mostly at Berkeley, and I kind of worked for him in Panama.
Amazing.
And still had a few more like mentorship lessons and played with him a bit as well. Yeah.
And then Terry Lynn was kind of Terry Lynn Carrington was somebody that you studied with, or just somebody that you met in the States?
Yeah, I met her first. Like, actually, it was amazing how I met her, because obviously I knew that she was at Berkeley teaching and she was around, but she was kind of really busy, I think, when I was first there. So I hadn't met her.
She's gigging loads, right? I mean, she's like...
Exactly. She's always, but then
it's kind of hard to believe that she would ever even have time to be there, you know?
Yeah, true. Actually, it's crazy that she has so many things going on in her life. That's another thing to look up to, isn't it? Just staying busy. And
time management.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
But yeah, I met her first, and then got to have lessons with her too.
So what was it like studying with these different, these different, those people are from all different places as well. And do you think that kind of had an influence on what you wanted to put into your EP?
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yeah, it was kind of, just playing wise as well, it was that same kind of force thing. And one of the things that Taylor told me the first time I ever met her was like in a coffee shop in Pavement.
I know Pavement.
Yeah, who like
iced tea, man. I used to have iced tea at Pavement.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Newberry
you're into
Street.
that. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
That was the one,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. It's like an independent cafe, isn't it? I think. Yeah. That's so wild. We've both been in that same cafe at different times. Yeah. And then we met there, sitting on like sofas like this in a way, and then I was obviously really shy and really intimidated and stuff, but she was so nice and so friendly and just so like encouraging. And she was talking a bit about spirituality and how she's into like the Buddhism. She kind of like practices Buddhism, I think. Same as Herbie Hancock and Wayne Shorter too. And she recommended this book called The Anatomy of the Spirit, something which is by this professor called like Carolyn something or other. But she's kind of talking about drums and how, you've got like the chakras in your body, you've got like the 7 chakras or whatever. And then she's like, you have to play from your core, like whatever you do. So it's kind of like this force you have to have when you play. And that just like opened my mind. Because then I felt like I'd always played from a different part of me that didn't have like the right force. So maybe it's like, it's like not playing louder or playing quieter, but it's just playing with more intention in a way. It's like a spiritual thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I learned a lot about that. Yeah.
Right. So, that's so cool.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, the kind of, and it seems like, what you're saying about being around these people, just having, it's that kind of, the thing that really draws you into somebody's playing is that intensity, right? It's not whether they play the loudest, the fastest, the most chops or whatever. It's kind of that, it's the heart really,
Definitely.
So the show is called Sitting In With Smitty's now, which is fun because, you've been a member of this band for a lot of the shows, and now you're the special guest. But you'll have to imagine that this is the first time you played with us,
Yeah.
and that we played with you. But you know, sitting in with bands is kind of an integral part of jazz development. It's kind of like, you know, you will have gone to Wally's Jazz Cafe on Mass Ave, you know, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And man, I saw some people get vibed out at Wally's Jazz Cafe so many times. You know, that's just that's like, you know, vibe central. Terrible. Anyway, but good music.
Amazing music. Yeah,
you know?
Intense
you know,
experience.
But you know, that's something that we do as jazz musicians. You know, we kind of put ourselves. It's kind of an addictive strain that you put yourself under. You go and you throw yourself into this environment, and you think, okay, well, hopefully, you know, we'll make some good music together. And you know, I wanted, you know, especially with the new EP has so many guests. How do you, as somebody who plays in a rhythm section, how do you respond to people sitting in with your band? Because, you know, just to flip the kind of paradigm there, like, you know, what's it like for you when somebody new comes on stage and sits in with you? How do you know if you're going to get along or not?
True. Yeah? Yes, it's a really good question actually, because I think a lot of the time it happens naturally. You know, I think there obviously is a connection between off stage and on stage, you know, personally and musically. But a lot of the time, I mean, sometimes you can have an awful connection with someone personally, but when you play together, it's incredible, you know, or the other way around. Maybe you don't play well together, but you have an amazing friendship. Right. So, you know, or something like that. So I think it definitely happens naturally. But yeah, for me, playing with other people who like join my group and my music, I think I'm definitely super open and kind of, I think naturally I've never really had expectations of how I want my music to sound, or if someone's come up to play, I'm super down for what they're going to bring to the table. I think that maybe that's an important thing to have too. I respect a lot of music that kind of like has its way, and then you kind of adapt to the leader, you know, for example. But I do feel like I'm more of like the band leader that adapts to the other musicians in the band. Maybe because that's what I've done more often than band leading. Like band leading for me is definitely a new thing. Right. But I've just grown up playing for other people, other music, and kind of that. So yeah, it's just.
So for the people that played on the EP, you know, the percussionist, the trumpet player from Spain. You said somebody was from India, right?
Yeah, the piano player.
The piano player's from India.
Yeah.
How did you seek out those people? Was it you know, by sitting in with each other, having jams at Berkeley, or was it like you know, saw them and you were like, yep, I want you. What was it? How do you choose people?
Yeah, that was kind of, I'd already started like a jazz and chums group like a year before with certain people.
Chums,
you know, chums, yeah, you know, the chums.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do another project with my drum teacher, Neil Smith, who's actually plays a lot in New York, and incredible drummer. And he was like, just start fresh, start with new people, start a new sound, you know. And then everybody who's in that group on the EP, I'd played with them all separately in different situations, but we'd never played together as a group. I think some of them didn't actually even know each other, possibly, or at least not very well. So it was a very fresh sounding band.
Yeah.
And we rehearsed, not really rehearsed, well, I guess we did rehearse, but we met up like every week in my drum lesson with Neil for like 3 months, 4 months. So there's a lot of time to like connect and like find the sound and figure each other out, you know. But it definitely was incredible from the get-go, because they're all unbelievable musicians. But yeah, I think there was just really, we didn't really hang outside of the recording, and you know, we'd like see each other and maybe be in the cafe at the same time or something like that. But yeah, it was really just the time we hung all 5 of us was in the ensemble room, you know? Right. Yeah.
It's just a spark there, you know.
Yeah,
it's great.
It just sort of it happened really naturally, nicely.
Just gonna pause.
So congrats on the EP. You know, it's just,
thank you.
You know, all the influences come together, and it's just, but you just hear one thing, you hear one sound, and I love that. You know, it all sounds like, you know, original music from you. So
thank you very much.
Where can people, you know, listen to it? It's on. I know it's on Spotify, but what's the best spot?
All the streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, even Amazon Player, what do you call it? I've got it up on Bandcamp as well too, so some people can buy it if they want.
Download.
Yeah, download it, exactly. Yeah.
That's the best way.
Yeah, that is the way.
So, you know, what's coming up for you? What else do you have on the horizon?
Well, actually, next week I'm recording an album with you. Do it.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm free.
Sweet. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that slipped my mind, but I knew we were doing it. I knew it. Yeah, so we're doing this Plunderphonia project, which is yeah, and you sound so awesome on it. It's really great to get to, because obviously we've been doing the live at Fives, and like you said with the band that you used for the EP, it's you find the chemistry on the jam session, but then you hone it. That's kind of how I always think of those things. It's like you find the spark of kind of that connection, musical connection, and then we've had a couple of rehearsals, and I think it's really fun.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. I love the idea and the way we're kind of like approaching that music as well. Yeah. And we've been playing for a while, like other stuff, and then we're bringing like this new sound together. It's really nice to work with all of you. On that. It's gonna be cool.
Ditto. So we have 2 more songs that we're gonna do. One from the EP. And then we're going to do one from Ralph Peterson, which is cool.
Exactly.
I feel like I know Ralph Peterson just because I've talked to you about him so much.
Yeah, true. I probably talk about him so much as well.
Maybe I should just call him one day and just be like, yo, Ralph, what's happening, man? He'll be like, who?
Yeah.
Giacomo, Giacomo.
I feel like Ralph would be like, yeah, Giacomo, what's up? What's happening, man?
Just like totally play it off.
Yeah.
Lionel Hampton's thing for that was that he just called everyone Gates.
Oh, really?
So he knew so if somebody was like, yo, Hamp, what's up? He'd be like, hey, Gates. What's up, Gates? So if he didn't know you, you were just Gates.
Okay. But what does Gates mean?
It's just like it was his thing,
Oh, fair.
Yeah. That was his nickname for everyone.
Yeah. A smart way to do it. Actually.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. So other tunes we're gonna play. We're gonna do tell me the other tune from the EP that we're gonna do.
Feel it.
The
second one on the EP. Yeah.
And then what's this Ralph tune we're gonna do?
Called Blues for Cooch. Yeah.
Which has a weird form.
So it's a blues, but it's an 18-bar blues. And actually, remember in his lesson he would like bring. Well, the drummers basically would bring a bass player and a piano player and have lessons just as a trio, so he could work with an ensemble. And he showed it as blues, and he's like, check it out, try playing the blues in 18 bars, splitting it rather than splitting it into 4, 4, 4.
I feel like I'm going to be sitting there going like this the whole time.
Exactly.
Like, oh no, I lost my place.
Yeah, it really does feel like that.
So how does it work? Tell us the form.
So it's like first 6 bars of one, chord 1, and then you got 4 bars of chord 4, and then 2 turnarounds, basically, like a bar each chord, so it adds up to 18. And you can think of it as in a way, literally just three lots of 6. But it's also that thing of Ralph was telling us a lot about like landing on the 4. Like the resolution in the blues is not on the 1, but it's on the 4. So that really helps with it as well, because you've got those 6 bars of the 1 at the beginning. It's kind of like that build-up is so long, and then it's like you just want to resolve, and then you get on the 4, and that's where. And in this recording too, he gets that every time, and that like is how you keep the form. It's not like at the top, but on the chord 4 will help keep you in the.
Right.
In the structure.
Well, I'll remember that.
Yeah. That's the tip, I think. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what happens, I guess, right? Cool.
Yeah.
So thanks again for tuning in today. And remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel and check the links in our description below to find out about our Patreon page and Kansas Smitty's membership. Thanks so much again to Jas for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. We have a couple more tunes for you, so stick around. And we'll see you shortly with some more music. This next tune is called Feel It, and it features our house band of Ferg Ireland and Joe Webb. Ferg Ireland on the bass, Joe Webb on the Winkleman. And our special guest today is Jas Kayser, and these are her tunes, so it's awesome to be playing them. This one's called Feel It.
1, 2, 3.
Killer. Love it.
1, 2, oh.
Thanks so much for tuning in to KSTV. Remember to subscribe and check the links in our description below to find out about our Patreon, our virtual jazz bar, and our Live at 5 sets on the Friday and Saturday nights. Thank you so much to Jas Kayser, and thank you so much to our house band, Ferg Ireland and Joe Webb. My name's Giacomo Smith, and we'll see you on Friday. Thanks.